Welcome back, rats, to another episode of Bad Advice Only. We're your hosts, Tara, Nora, and Allie. And today we are going to be talking about a pretty unusual topic. So before we dive in, I do want to start with a trigger warning. So today, rats, we are going to be talking about sexual assault. So if that's something that you don't want to hear or not ready to this early in the morning, go listen back to one of our older episodes and come back to us.
Where we'll still talk about sexual assault, but more in a joking way.
Or we'll put trigger warning at the end.
Where Allie just randomly screams trigger warning in all the wrong places.
This time it's really about sexual assault.
I think it was February, right, guys?
It was cold.
It was cold. So this winter, Tara Rat, was sexually assaulted by a man.
The interest, the intrigue, the positivity in her voice.
How did it happen? Tell us more.
What the hell happened?
So Allie and I obviously already know the story.
Yeah, and so to preface, so this happened this winter, so like January or February, and we obviously couldn't talk about it for a couple of reasons. One, it was an ongoing legal procedure? What are they called?
You want a legal hold.
I'm looking at you because you went to law camp.
Legal hold.
And
legal
she's
hold.
Been sued a few times.
Yeah.
And Allie's been sued a few
Legal hold.
Yes, I was gagged. I had a legal
He
gag.
had a gag order.
Not in the hot kind of way.
You guys going through this, I really don't understand the system. I really don't.
I
But
think that's the point, right?
so one, that's one reason why we didn't talk about it at first. And two, I wasn't well.
She was traumatized.
I was traumatized. I was assaulted.
As we all are.
So what I want to talk about, it's not really necessarily what happened to me, but my reaction to it. And we can dissect it a little bit and talk through it.
But we're also going to have to share what happened
I'll
to
give
you,
an
the
overview.
rats want to know.
It is unfortunate that when I do talk about this, people are like, tell me everything and show me what he did to you.
Yeah, that's like the number one reaction. Show me.
It's also...
And she does. She does show them.
I get consent first, though. That's the difference.
That's the key.
Key difference why I'm not in jail and he is.
The listener is so intrigued because someone got consent.
So give us the highlight. What happened to you on the street of Manhattan?
Okay, so just to paint the picture a little bit, because I know your first thought is, what were you wearing?
What were you wearing? I guess now I need to know.
It was the dead of winter. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, so it's still light outside. And I am in my biggest winter coat possible.
I didn't even look like a woman.
That is literally what I wrote down in my notes. You couldn't tell if I was a woman from another blob walking the streets of Manhattan.
Could have been a very small man.
Did you have a beanie on?
I had my hood up, and I had sunglasses
Your puffer
on.
coat?
I had my massive puffer coat on. I had sunglasses on. My hair was back, and my hood was over my head. And then I had on just my black denim and black boots.
So it was giving like Gen Z boy.
One could argue this was not a gender-motivated crime.
Yeah, but I think it's still considered sexual assault.
No, it definitely
it's sexual
is.
assault either
It
way.
is either way. It's just, did he know you were a woman?
He was just going for anybody.
Yeah.
So for the listener, he groped me is what happened, basically. So he's walking one direction. I'm walking home. I'm walking the opposite direction. He looks like he's about to like bend over and pick something up off the ground. Perfectly normal looking guy.
Random man on the street.
Complete random man on the street. We're just walking past each other like you do in New York City. He grabs my lower half, that region.
The vayoin.
Beyond.
The voyoin,
Uh-huh.
the clinical term.
Do you think they said that in court?
He grabbed the poussoir.
Guys, I wish I could just read the entire affidavit.
I thought you were going to bring some of those.
I thought about it. I guess I could. But
So first he pulls a trump and grabs you
by
by
the pussy.
Or
vajoin.
Legally Blonde, he does a bend and snap to then pull a trump
my
and grab you by the
God.
vajoin.
That's true. He bend and snapped.
He really did bend and
to
Bent
assault
and
you.
grabbed, yeah.
yeah, he bent and snatched.
The bend
This is
and
horrible.
snatch. No, this is horrible. He's rightfully in jail now.
He's rightfully in
Go
jail.
on.
And I think that's partially why I can like kind of laugh about it now. And I also just have y'all as my friends to help me get through it. So that's what happened. But like, how did I react? Okay, in the moment, one, it hurt. So I was like, did he just hit me?
Because it wasn't like a cuppage. He
it
slapped
was
your puss.
aggressive.
Because, yeah, he was like trying to do it like a drive-by, you know? Like he wasn't trying to stick around and get my name.
He was just quick as possible. grab the puss.
Right. So I first am just like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, ow, that hurt. And my mind's just blank at this point. And I just remember this is the year of like, I'm not taking shit. We all did our our 2025 goals and stuff. And I've gotten a lot mouthier this year.
She's so lippy this year, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm much more lippy. I'm not letting people walk all over me this year as often. I've definitely failed a few times.
Still does.
And like, this is kind of where it stems from. Like, I remember just feeling so defeated in that moment. Like, some guy just hit me. It didn't even like occur to me that he hit me in my like private area. My privates. and I just snapped, and I just turn around and I just started screaming. I've never screamed so loud in my life.
Honestly, I'm very proud of you, because I think 99% of people would probably just be in shock, and they would just walk home and then, like, you know, hours later be like, what just happened?
So that's my normal reaction.
Which is kind of my normal reaction.
I think we've all been in that position, and I don't think either reaction is right or wrong. It's just a reaction. But yeah, I totally was starting just my defeated walk home of like, you're like, well, just got groped, headed home.
It's kind of like, unfortunately, how New York is this moment of like walking down the street and not knowing who's going to try to grab the snatch.
Right.
Exactly. Bend and snatch.
And
although the snatch is aggressive. Like, what kind of joy do you get from grabbing a snatch, man or female or anything in between?
Right. We could get into the whole psychology of that in another episode. But I've been watching this Instagrammer. She's like a criminologist or something, and I love her. And she always talks about like how to get out of like if you're tied up and stuff. She's really great. And one of her episodes had just like, I had just watched one of her episodes, and she was like, if something like this happens and you're in a, you know, crowded area, just make as much chaos and noise as possible. And that's what I did. I've never screamed as much as I have. And I didn't even let this man get a word in. He turned around and tried to yell back.
What was he going to say? What's his defense?
Or were you like, stop grabbing my snatch?
Give us the words you screamed.
I said, this man just grabbed my vagina. Guys, I cannot tell you how.
Laugh, but...
I know.
I just imagine Tara's like squeak at like the high pitch volume.
Yeah, I tried to sound like really like masculine, actually, to sound a little bit scarier.
Yeah.
That's good.
But like, I after that, it's a 2-day lapse, just for the listener, because there's follow-up the next day, and y'all know about this, and we'll get into it in a second. I cannot tell you how many times I said vagina that day and the next, but I was like, don't you ever touch me again. Stay the fuck away from me. I was cursing him out, just screaming. Like, I could hear my voice echoing off the buildings. Amazing. And the man was just like, fuck you, da-da-da-da-da. But like, I just kept...
Everyone probably... And you know how the East Village is. Everyone heard that in their apartments.
It's also crazy that he stayed to try to argue with you instead of running away in broad daylight.
I know.
Separately,
broad daylight.
Something that really pisses me off and makes me like super scared about this is that in New York, like, a woman screaming is like, you could have been a crackhead, you could have been a crazy. This happens all the time.
That we're like numb to
like,
it
people
and tone
actually
deaf.
would very much not stop and not help and just be like, oh, another crackhead fight.
Totally.
Yeah. And so it is I just remember it really... It's there's certain parts that I remember so vividly, and then other parts that are kind of blurry. But there weren't a lot of people on the street. It was, like I said, like 3:30ish. So kids were in school, people at work. So I remember just like screaming, and like that obviously got him turned, like, I don't know, it got him.
Good. At least you got a reaction.
Yeah, exactly. So he then turns around and starts walking again. Not running, just walking. And so then again, I'm defeated. So this is like slap number 2 of like, okay,
He's just going to walk away.
He just gets away with it after I yelled at him. And who knows, he probably got some jollies from me yelling at him too. So then I'm just like walking home again. And I make it like, I don't know, 10 steps. And a man who's working outside on a ladder looks at me and he goes, you need to be more careful. People are crazy.
She was,
what the fuck are you supposed to do? You're walking home.
I want to clarify. This is daylight. Our neighborhood, which is a nice, fine, perfectly safe neighborhood of New York, walking home down a sidewalk. in what way could you have been more careful?
That's like when people are like, "Oh, you should have been more careful not standing too close to the edge." Well, it doesn't matter if somebody pushes you off a subway platform.
Right.
What the how are you supposed to control that? You don't control other people.
Yeah.
Also, you were being nice because you're one of those people that like assumes the best intent in people
Yeah.
and doesn't move to the other side of the street when somebody who's suspicious looking is like
Well,
walking on
that's the crazy thing. He wasn't even suspicious looking.
I know that, but like in general,
I give
you know
people
what I mean?
the benefit of the doubt typically, and I just let people live their lives as long as they're not grabbing my pussy.
To this story, a note for our boy rats: when you're walking down the sidewalk and a woman moves to the other side of the street, don't be offended, because
Or don't follow
you are possibly a creep, and we don't know.
Yeah, so when I was thinking about this outline for today and how I wanted to talk about it, that's kind of one of the main takeaways I had is that there's no identifier on a man that tells me or tells women that you're safe or not. But the only identifier that we have is that you're a man, which means you could be unsafe. So where were we?
The guy on the ladder had just said that you need to be more careful.
Yeah, so I was immediately victim blamed in the first 30 seconds of my attack. And that is where I snapped. Like, I should be on the show, fucking snapped. I started yelling at this man.
I would too.
And I go, he grabbed my vagina. He hit me. And then I'm like, why the fuck am I yelling at this man? Because I had pointed to the guy who had assaulted me. And I'm like, he just grabbed me. He assaulted me. And I see him and I'm like, why am I yelling at this motherfucker when I could be yelling at this motherfucker? Guys?
But also, you don't even need to explain yourself to a fucking stranger who's victim blaming you on a ladder out of harm's way. I would have pushed the ladder over.
I should have drop kicked his ass.
Also, I just want to point out, where are male protectors? They don't exist.
Well, they are predators, and predators will never protect their prey.
It's both, though. Like, no, I don't think any female would have stopped either. Like, to your point earlier, though, like New York,
Funny
again,
you say
is
that.
so-
I believe a woman would. We've stopped for women that we were worried
You
about.
guys are good women.
Funny you say that. Okay, so we'll get to that point you just made, Al. So I am on my third defeat now, where another man's just like, be more careful. So I'm just getting slapped up left and right at this point. And I say, fuck it. And you should know, listener, if you're not in New York, you should not be in the bike lane. I immediately run into the bike lane.
Allie could use that tip.
Allie could use that tip.
I love living my life on the edge of the bike lane.
I immediately jump into the bike lane to see if I can still see the man. No one's in the bike lane, luckily. And I just start sprinting towards my attacker.
You're crazy, and I love
I
it.
fucking snapped. No one came to my help.
Yeah.
I've been assaulted, then cursed
First
out.
time you've run in like 6 years.
Oh, I was so out of breath. I
would want to
my legs were on fire.
I know that like it's one of the most frustrating things when something like this happens is everyone being like, here's what I would do, here's what I would want to do, but it's so hard not to. What I probably would do is go home in silence and cry. What I would want to do in hindsight, reflecting on this, I would want to drop kick him in the knees.
Yeah.
I would jump with my full body weight onto his knees and knock
that
motherfucker out.
I know. I always have these ideas, like if I get attacked, and again, it's not going to happen in real life because one time somebody scared me jumping out of a bush and I fell over in fetal position. But in my mind, I have this vision of me employing this one technique I learned in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where you get somebody on the ground and you take their arm and both of your legs are wrapped around the one arm at the elbow joint. And then you sit back and snap their arm, and that's how I like to take them out.
So I'm in that like snapped mode, but I don't know what to do. So I'm just running at him, screaming and waving my arms. Because again, I still have that awesome.
I guess you could follow him and like call the police and follow until they are. I mean, I don't know.
I know.
But also, that's obviously dangerous as well.
You don't know if he has a gun or
right.
And he already is proven violent and dangerous.
So like again, I'm not saying my reaction is right. No reaction is wrong or right in these scenarios. You don't know what to do. Yeah. But I see a cop car. So I start waving my hands frantically, screaming for this cop car. I get to this cop car. I didn't even look. I crossed 2 lanes of traffic without even looking both ways. I should have died multiple times on this assault. I get to the cop car, waving my hands. cop car is fucking empty, y'all.
Of course.
What is this, number 4?
Yeah.
Just absolute
Jesus
wreckage.
fucking Christ.
This is the luckiest offender I've ever met in my life.
He had so many opportunities to get away, that stupid little bitch. So the cop car is empty. So yet again, I have to turn around and walk home. I'm so defeated at this point. And right when I get to the crosswalk to cross over the street, head home, another cop car pulls around. And I just grabbed the door and I just hit the window of the cop car.
Tara has done more dangerous things in this 10-minute span than in her entire
No,
life.
adrenaline's a hell of
She
a drug.
almost went death by cop.
Yeah, I almost got shot by a
Sorry,
cop.
suicide by cop.
And no one would
Trigger
have known
warning.
the real story, which is hysterical.
And I was hysterical, y'all. Police officers, there's 2 of them in the car. They unroll their window. I'm screaming. And they're like, what happened? And I was like, that man grabbed my vagina. He hit me. Just start screaming. And one of the cops in the passenger seat gets out of the car to look. Now, listener, I've obviously caused a scene. So now there's a few people looking around. All these men point, he went that way. He went that way.
Now you're helpful?
Now they're helpful. The cops go, do you want to get in? And I go, no.
Oh my God, Tara.
I would have gone
wanna
in.
get so
I would have been like,
bad.
can I ring the siren?
Y'all,
Yeah, let me put the cuffs on.
I wish I did. Again, I was like, you just
Yeah, you
black
can't.
out.
This is why
I have so many regrets. I wish I got in the car.
This is why I get so mad when, sorry to get serious, but when rapes happen and rape victims come forward and everyone's like, well, why didn't you X? Why didn't you Y? Why didn't you Z?
Oh, I know.
Because you just were assaulted and
Yeah,
your brain is so fucked. We've
Yeah.
all been through it. There's no telling how you're going to react.
Your brain is so cool, guys.
You might repress it for a year.
So your brain, the minute something bad happens to you, your brain immediately goes into how can I recover from
How do
this?
I live?
How do I
live
survive?
on?
And that could mean forget everything that just fucking happened to you and we'll deal with it later.
could
That's my go-to.
That's Allie's go-to. So,
right, so
the cops are like, get in the car. And I'm like, no.
Oh, God, I can't believe they offered that.
I know.
That's
They go, do you
hilarious.
want to get in? And I go, no. Why would I want that?
Fair enough. You've just been assaulted.
Right.
No, thank you.
I don't want to be around 2 other men.
You've just been trying to get home for the last 30 minutes.
And in my head, I'm also pet sitting a friend's dog. So I'm like, I got to go home and walk some dogs, guys. Like, that's what women do after they get sexually assaulted.
She's like, I have
I
responsibilities
have
at
to
home.
go home and take care of my fur children. So they get in the car. They whip the fucking police car around and you start going down the wrong side of the
hell yeah.
street.
We must also mention just the absolute white privilege you have in
Oh,
this
I know.
moment.
Immediately
of
believed.
being a tiny blonde white girl, immediately believed, and they whip a bitch to go get this
Yeah.
guy.
Yes, thank you for believing me and thank you for my privilege.
Yes, sure.
So
Take it.
So
Take your wins.
cops leave. I'm standing there stunned and I'm like off to my home again. This is the longest fucking walk home.
So depressing
And
to walk
it's
home
so
after that.
depressing. And a woman grabs me and she's like, are you okay? And that's when I start crying. I'm like, oh my God. All the men that like pointed, he went that way, he went that way. They cross the street to get away from me because I start sobbing. The woman's like, are you okay? Do you need me to call someone? She's like, would you like a hug? Can I walk you home?
That's nice.
I have goosebumps. Just like,
Yeah, women
thank
are
you.
saviors.
I know.
Women are angels.
We're the protectors.
and we are the protectors of the world.
Yeah.
Men are playing in pretend wars overseas while we protect people.
I know. And like,
Yup.
I wish I could remember her face or anything. Like, she obviously lives in our neighborhood. She was coming out of one of the little stores by us. So I'm so grateful for her. It kind of like, yes, it did get me emotional, but like at least it like kind of like put me into like, okay, make action now.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just so upset. She makes sure I'm good. I walk home, walk the fucking dogs.
Still walks those dogs.
Yeah, I was supposed to like finish up my day.
A
but
woman.
By then it's like almost 4. Because remember, guys, this happened in like 15 minutes total, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe less. And so I get home, walk the fucking dogs. And then I called piece of shit and was like, so I got attacked today.
Also, I have to make an aside. Maybe Tara's just about to make this point. But when this happened, she was like, I almost don't even want to tell him because he thinks I hate men.
Yeah.
Which is not right.
Yeah, I know, like, we love men, but it doesn't y'all aren't making it easy to love y'all.
You sure
and
aren't.
So,
We love you despite this bullshit.
and yeah, I was a little scared to tell piece of shit because I don't want him to think I'm fucking crazy. Like, how does all this stuff happen to you? And of course, that wasn't his response. He was so upset. He was so sad. He offered to come over. He wanted to drop everything for me. And I, again, didn't know how to react. And I think you had like a fancy date that night and you weren't coming home.
Oh, God.
And so I was like,
you didn't tell me.
Yeah,
till,
I was like,
the
I don't
next
really
day.
want to talk about it. I don't want to deal with anybody. So I just stayed home alone with my 2 dogs. And then Nora came home in the morning and I told her and she was like, what the fuck?
And after that, Tara was in a depressive episode for like a month.
Well,
Yeah.
before all that, though, I feel like the night that happened, you and I had talked because, again, Nora, you were gone.
Oh,
on
yeah,
your
I did
date.
call you. Oh, yeah,
You were not sure what you wanted to do. Like, you were still concerned if you wanted to go back to the police station the next day and follow up on what happened because it was so traumatic, which is also real. Like, I feel like we've all had that conversation of like, well, why didn't you go to police? Like, totally. Do you want to? Like, you should, blah, 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 blah. And then there's that additional burden that then falls on the victim of having to deal with all of that shit if you go and if you don't go. And then people are going to judge you
People are
regardless
going to judge you either way. If you don't go, they're going to say, what if he attacks someone else? Like, it's so unfair
There's
that it's
so
on
much
the victim.
responsibility that's put on you after
Something
an
horrible
assault.
happened to you.
So to Allie's point, yeah, she, Nora, and my boyfriend, piece of shit, were all curious to know if I wanted to go to the police. They were all really supportive of it. And finally, I decided that the next day that I would go. Do y'all know how much thought I had to put into going to the police station? Okay, some of our listeners may not get this and may kind of eye roll this. I don't know. I'm really curious to get a reaction from folks. I had to think about what I was going to wear to the police station.
I would think the exact same thing.
I made sure to wear something modest.
How do I look respectable, believable, and
clean.
like someone not asking for it?
I didn't want any wrinkles on my clothes. I didn't want to look disheveled. I wore my nicest coat.
And we must again point out you are a blonde white girl. Imagine how much worse it is for someone of
anyone else.
color. Jesus Christ.
They're not believed. They're just not heard.
Yeah.
I did my hair. I did minimal makeup because I wanted to look.
Girl makeup.
I did the Republican girl makeup and then went to the police station. Like, who gets ready to go and like, this is what women have to think
You shouldn't
about.
have to get ready to be believed.
I should have done a get ready with me.
Get ready with me to fucking put a man in jail.
Right?
Also, this is a little separate, but I was just thinking about more on like the burden women face. And it's kind of about being a people pleaser and assuming the best in people. When this happened, one of the reasons she didn't want to go to the police is because she was like, well, what if he had like a mental disorder?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Women have mental disorders. They're not groping. I don't care if he did.
Exactly what you just said. I was also so terrified that they would try to get me to do like a lineup or something and I wouldn't be able to pick this man out.
Yeah.
I remember his coat, the coat he was wearing so perfectly, like it is embedded in my brain, but I would never be able to pick him out of a lineup.
You were looking at his face.
So you go to the police.
Y'all, I don't know if this was like our childhood training as little girls, but I didn't know what to do when I walked in.
No, me either. When I went to the police for my stalker, I had no clue what to do.
They should give you some
I
kind
brought
of
a friend
like
with me because I was
101.
like, what the
I know, I really should have
Right?
gone with someone.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do this. Like 101, if you're assaulted, like what do you say to the police?
I
'Cause,
followed the
what do you
script
do?
our mom gave us from when we were 2 years old.
You're like,
walked
I
in-
was touched inappropriately.
Well,
I was like, here's the doll. This is where I was touched.
Well,
no.
did you feel like this when you walk in? Like, they're not nice. Like, everything you see on TV is actually, like, the one time it's a real description. Like, you walk into a precinct and you're like, this is my issue. And they're like, sit down and wait. And then, like, they're not, like, you have no idea what's going on until they put you in touch with the right person in the precinct.
Guys, I don't know. This is probably my white privilege again. And like, what's the other privilege? The attractiveness privilege?
Yeah, you
Hot
got pretty
girl?
privilege.
Pretty privilege. Like, again, I made sure I
She's
looked
like,
good.
I'm pretty.
She just wanted us to say it.
Rats, I'm pretty. So when I walked in, no, this precinct, they were so great. But I also came in like a deer in headlights, terrified little woman. I go, can I talk to a female officer?
Good for you. Did they let you?
Okay, listener, we need more representation in the police
They
force.
didn't have one?
They were scrambling. They were like, let's find a girl. Like, we got to find one.
Also, just maybe this is a crazy thought and I haven't baked it out, but I don't think that men should talk to, like, male police officers should not speak to women after an assault.
Well, I agree with that because I had a male officer when my stalker happened and he was like judging the interaction that we had. Like he helped me get to a solution, but still he was like, same thing the guy on the ladder said, like, you have to be more careful with like this stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was never like, I'm sorry this happened to you. You have free right as a human to do whatever you'd like to do.
To live your life and no one should stalk or attack you.
Right.
So I'm proud of you for asking for a female cop because I never would have even thought about it.
As cops, A, like, and B, female cops should be the ones receiving rape and assault victims.
Totally.
Always.
If they're able and willing to, because that's also a really hard fucking job.
Sure.
So that happens, and I immediately start tearing up, y'all, because I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, there's no hope that this guy got. Like, there's no hope. What am I going to do?
What's the
man
point?
in a black coat?
That's all you could say. You don't know anything about him.
I know nothing.
You could get footage, but, like, it's still just a man in a black coat.
Right. He had his hood on. Like, he was pretty nondescript, just like me.
Yeah.
I was a blob. We were all blobs walking around in fucking February. It was freezing. So they're scrambling, trying to find female cops. And they're like on the radio. I see a lot of women cops in New York City, but none of them were.
Challenge for our rats. From now on, when you feel like talking to a female, let's start asking. I'd like to talk to a woman X profession.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'm sick of this.
Yeah,
Go on.
I'm with you on that. Okay. So they're like, can you just give us an overview of what you need to talk to a female police officer about? And I'm like, I guess I was assaulted yesterday
More
sexually.
Woman language, I guess.
Yeah.
No, you were.
Yeah, exactly. But I was so scared. And the precinct's scary. Like Ali said,
it's dark, it's
dark,
dusty.
it's dirty.
There's a bunch of men who like look all
with guns.
You also
with
hear
guns.
so many noises, but you don't know where they're coming from. Like,
terrifying.
It's really scary. And they go, "Oh my God, you're the woman that flagged us down yesterday." And I go,
That's
what?
crazy.
You're like, that's me.
And they were like,
the pretty one.
the pretty one, the pretty blob.
Couldn't tell without my Pradas on.
I was wearing my Prada.
I fucking knew it.
Listener, they're talking about her Prada sunglasses. I was going to make that joke earlier and be like, well, the only evidence you were a woman is you were obviously wearing your Pradas.
It's so true. But they go, "Oh my God, you're the woman that flagged us down yesterday." And I go, "Yeah, I like flagged down a cop car." And they were like, "We got the guy." And I go, "You did?" And I just start sobbing. I'm getting goosebumps again. I just started sobbing, and they were like, "Do you have a minute to like give your statement and stuff?" I was like, "Yeah." So they radioed the police officers that I flagged down, and they came in to take my statement, and they were like, "We came back for you." And I was like,
why would you still be sitting there?
Yeah, what were you supposed to do? Sit
You
there?
didn't want to get in the cop car. What are you going to do? Stand on the side of the street where you were just assaulted?
I guess you could have called 911 and like given your info. I don't know.
But
They were
again,
like,
what's the protocol?
Right. What do you do? So yeah, I was like, they were like, "We came back for you. We got him. We had to chase him down." One of the officers was a little bit heavier set, and he was like, "We were really out of breath after that one, but we got him." And I was like, "You did?"
That's good, because I was going to ask. I was like, if this motherfucker was still walking, for them to be able to catch up, whip a bitch, and get all the way down there.
So casual.
That's like the clarity I wanted, Allie. So I asked them, I was like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "Well, when we turned the car around and we were driving down the wrong way, we clocked him, but we obviously didn't want to turn on our sirens and alert him. But our window was open because we were talking to you. When we radioed and said we have a suspect, he heard us and took off. And so we put the car in park and chased him and tackled him."
Tara, made
They
a
tackled
foot chase.
They tackled him.
Oh,
That's
my
awesome.
God. I didn't know they tackled him. That brings me
That's
so much
very
joy.
funny.
I know. And like, okay, here's the problem. If I were in that cop car, I would be busting out of that cop car and just kicking him in the nuts.
Yeah, thank God you didn't get in that cop car.
I remember
But how amazing if
all
you had
that.
seen that.
Oh my God. They probably would have
You
been
should
a little
ask for
healing.
footage from some of the stores.
I've been trying to get the footage for y'all.
Show me this man getting tackled ASAP.
I've been trying to get the footage for so long. I want the footage of me running down the bike lane, waving my arms.
Can you not get it from our bodega or something?
I'm trying.
Probably gotta slip him a 50.
I know, right? I thought about asking them for the footage of that other instance where the crazy man trapped me in the bodega and I had to hide
my
behind
God,
it.
yeah.
Another story for another day, rats.
No, I think it's amazing though, because what are the odds of that actually happening? Never do you report a crime and it
it's
gets solved. At least day
Yeah.
of unheard of.
I know.
This is what happens when you believe women. This is what happens, world. Please do it. And for anyone who's listening to this and still thinking like, oh, maybe this, maybe that, benefit of the doubt. This man had assaulted, Tara found out, like 5 other women who had reported him.
The exact same pattern.
Same pattern.
Some honestly like multiple groping situations.
Not only
right?
that, y'all, it was in that day.
I'm
He
so mad.
attacked 5 women. I was the 5th in one day.
The 5th.
I was the 5th woman to be sexually assaulted in a day.
that we know of, right? Because those are the only
Right,
5
the ones
people that went
reported.
and made
Exactly.
a statement.
And again, how many just went home and 2 hours later said, wait, what just happened to me?
Exactly.
What the fuck did that man do for work? He had all day to fucking touch all women in Manhattan.
I
wanna
got touched
know.
at 3:30. So, like, what time did he start? What time did he
No,
start?
like I'm so
Did he
curious.
set an alarm in the morning to
they,
get
like-
enough in?
The crazy part was they were all over the city. Like it wasn't co-located to just your neighborhood.
Yeah,
I remember
no.
that.
It was like
West
Union
versus East Side.
Square down to East Village. Like he was working his way down.
I'm so mad about this
I
man.
know.
I'm so glad he's in jail.
I know. So
what's his sentence? Do you know?
I can look it up.
Death.
But
Guillotine.
only. Just chop off his hands.
I
Fuck.
say no
Let's
hands.
Go.
Yeah,
no hands.
let's go Taliban style.
We're in the economy of nubs now.
The only time the Taliban got it right.
The bend and snatch was really a highlight of this episode.
The other, I know, right? The other highlight that I think our listeners who are all big SVU fans,
Dun, dun.
Olivia did not call me. I'm sorry, that was way too much of a teaser. But SVU called me. Wait, y'all don't know who Olivia Benson is?
no.
Oh, from SVU, Law and Order SVU.
But
she's-
the SVU.
she's
called
like
it.
the
Yeah,
main
I got
bitch.
it.
Why did they need you? What's
Because it was a
their-
sexual
sexual
assault.
victims unit.
So they
Yeah.
I
needed
didn't
to
know what
take
they
my
do.
statement too. But yeah, so I had to go to court. It wasn't like the court where I had to see him on trial, but I met with like the ADA and he and the what's he called? The bad guy.
the
criminal?
the
criminal?
the accused. I don't know.
So he and the criminal's lawyer sat down and instead of going to court, made a deal. And the ADA, who is so lovely, he told me he's not settling for anything but him getting a label of sexual predator. So if he applies for a job, it comes up.
Good.
He said he's not settling for anything less than that and jail
Good.
time.
That man should not go into any job.
I know.
And where he would be around people.
Right.
Right?
Right. So the lawyer, the criminal's
Be
lawyer,
jerking off under his laptop.
the criminal's lawyer was like, no, just jail time. We don't want that, or something like that. But basically, he ended up pleading guilty. He's a registered sex offender,
Motherfucker.
and he's in jail today.
Love that.
Woo!
The thing
What
that
a
I hate the
success.
most out of all of this, well, it's not the thing I hate the most. I hate all of it the most.
Yeah.
The whole situation.
The whole situation.
But what's even more bothersome is just the amount of time that you had to spend
The
on
burden.
top of your normal daily
know.
activities to
The
try
burden.
to fucking put this person who's already behind bars and secure, like the
I
statement,
know.
the going back to the police, the reading the affidavits to understand that like
Not to
everything's
mention her
overlapping.
screaming down the street. That guy could still be out there.
Yeah,
It took minimum 5 women for him to get caught. Minimum.
Yeah, I'm going to tag the woman when we post this. I'm going to tag the criminologist that I follow because she is truly the reason why I was like, I'm going to scream. She taught me that.
Good for her. You
I
should
know.
write her a letter.
I will. I
Write her a DM.
Keep screaming away.
But, one note that I have, it did not occur to me when I was doing my screaming and hollering that he might have a weapon on him.
Thank God he didn't.
Thank God he didn't. Because when we told someone in our family about this happening, they were like, oh my God, he could have stabbed you. And I was like,
100%.
and that
Literally.
Could have stabbed you, shot you, tased
Pushed you into traffic.
it was about a week after it happened when I told our family member about this. And I was like, wait a second. He could have stabbed me?
Yes.
Yeah.
It did not occur to me at all. So be careful out there. That's all I can say.
All right.
Just
Until
take care
next
of your
assault,
girls.
rats.
Until our next assault. And we have more assault stories, rats. We got bad ones. All right. I mean, we
Toodles.
do. Bye.
As always, thanks for listening. If you're interested in even more bad advice, scurry on over to Instagram and TikTok at BadAdviceOnlyNYC. We're begging you. Download and rate the show and leave us a review. Talk to you next Monday.
Stay tuned, rats.